Hey, welcome back to the channel. So finally we're going to do the comparison, the Rolex Submariner versus the Ginault silent service. So this Rolex Submariner is actually a 5-digit sub. So I think it'd be probably better to compare the silent service to a 6-digit, but we're going to do this anyway. You guys know how much I love the silent service, and you guys probably, if you follow my channel, you guys know that I absolutely love the Submariner. It's probably the best dive watch in my opinion. It's just, it's famous and very popular. It's probably the most iconic watch ever made. And the Ginault takes a lot of cues from the Submariner, also from the Seamaster. Also, something that was mentioned in one of the comments recently in one of my videos is the sapphire coated crystal on this Ginault silent service kind of resembles like a Blancpain 50 fathoms. So I think it's really cool that this Ginault has a lot of DNA of all probably the best dive watches ever made. So let's get into the specs real fast. Let's get into the sub. So the Submariner, we have, let's see, we are coming in at, last time I did this, they say it's a 40, but it's really a 39. So 39 from side to side. Our tip to tip is coming in at, let's see here, 47, a little over 47. Thickness, 12. Nice size crown. And I believe the crown, I've always liked the size of this crown. It is about 6.8. 20 mil lugs, tapers down about 15 or so at the clasp. So very nice dimensions. Of course, this is the no date version. This is the 14060M from 2010. So it has the engraved rehaut. So, it's not going to be an, like comparing the Ginault to a 6-digit sub. It's a little different. So it doesn't have solid inlay bracelet or anything. So on the Ginault, let's open the Ginault up. The specs on this one coming in at 40, and it's actually gonna be smaller. I'd say, let's see, about 39. The case is about a 39, almost a 40, so 39.6. What is a 41 is this bezel, 40.5 bezel. So at Ginault's website, they say this is a 41. So the bezel, it hangs over a little bit over the case, and that is where they get their 41 from. And then our tip to tip, we are coming in at 47, just about 46.9. I'm pretty sure it's a 47. And then thickness 11.8. So this is barely thinner than the sub. 20 mil lug opening, and we taper to 15, about the same as the sub. So very, very nice. Now, bezel. Let's do the bezel on the Submariner first. Remember, this is a 5-digit, which it's still really good. So listen to this. 120 click. Very good bezel action. Probably the best. Best in the business, really. Now, if you hear this one, and at this price point, this is really hard to beat. A little louder, a little more tactile, but very nice and super easy to grip on this bezel. It has very nice teeth. So the brushing, very nice. And then you have that big old deep polished chamfer here on the Ginault. And then the side of the case, you have some very nice polishing. Now this has already got some wear on it. I've been wearing it quite a bit since I got it. So it does have some wear. And I would say this polishing is on par with Rolex, pretty close. I do see at times, depending on the lighting, there's some lines, some up and down, you know, some lines that go up and down. And that just, to me, there's like a reflection of that. I don't know if you could see it. It's kind of hard to tell. You can kind of see it there. There's some little lines, some graininess in that polishing. So I'm not sure the polishing process, how that works and everything, but I do not see that in the Rolex at all. And this, like I said, this is an older Rolex and it has been polished before. Let's see if I can wipe it off. It has been polished before, but I do not see any of those lines at all. And I don't know if, I mean, I'm sure has a lot to do with the polishing process, but I think Rolex definitely beats them there. Now this has already been polished before, so the graininess on top of the lugs is a little gone, and there isn't much of a chamfer because, like I said, this is a 2010 model, so Rolex pretty much already did away with that, or pretty close. But this does have drilled lugs, which the 14060 had drilled lugs all the way through until they went to the 114060. So crown, very nice size crown on this. In fact, it is just about, in fact, it's bigger. It looks a little slightly bigger than the Rolex. And I do like a big crown because it's easier to use. Here's your case back. There's a lot more going on than on the Rolex. The Rolex has nothing. It's very sterile. You've probably seen it already. And normally, like the older Ginault Ocean Rovers had like that coin edge bezel like the Rolex, but this one, they've changed it. This is a different style, and I actually like this, and it really makes it a lot flatter. It hugs the wrist, makes it a lot flatter to the wrist. Very nice bracelet on this. It does have the glide lock style bracelet, Rolex style bracelet, solid in links. Very comfortable to wear. My 7.5 inch wrist fits real nice. We do have applied indices on here, and from what I understand, this is all done by hand. The owner, John, let me know that they do all this by hand in their workshop, which there's just 2 of them there doing this. So they apply those hands by hand. They're stamped into the, they're actually riveted into the dial. And I assume Rolex would do the same thing. That's really high quality. You're not going to lose an indice. It's not going to pop off or anything. And then you have these beautiful sword hands, which are reminiscent of a 5513, you know, old mill sub, or a 5517, I'm sorry, 5517, or even a Seamaster, that sword hand set, which is really cool. And of course, this is a sapphire cap bezel. On the Rolex, we just have an aluminum bezel insert, which I really like on a Rolex. I prefer the old style like this. This does have hollow in links, hollow bracelet as well. This is the old school style. Fits me perfect on my 7.5 inch wrist. Excuse me. Just a classic piece. This is just one of the most classic, iconic timepieces ever made. And really, wearing this and wearing that, I am proud to wear this. It's so comfortable. It's such a good looking watch, and I feel that you can easily have a Submariner or any other type of Rolex and have one of these Ginault silent service also in the collection. So the lume on both of these are going to be awesome, and we're going to show you that in just a moment. Here they are outside. So the Submariner has an inky black dial, and the silent service has a matte black dial, and it almost has like a brown tint to it almost, which I really like. It actually kind of has that gives it a little bit of a vintage vibe in my opinion. And then of course you have that red secondhand silent service, 300 meter, 1,000 feet. These are both rated to 300 meters. Both awesome. Can you have both in your collection? Yes. If you want to just own a really high quality watch for under $2,000, buy the Ginault. If you want to have a Rolex, a vintage Rolex or something a little older, buy the 14060M. I like my vintage Rolexes. I'm not a huge fan of modern day Rolexes unless it's maybe I really like the Polar Explorer 2 and the GMT Master 2. I like those, but other than that, the modern day subs I just really don't like. They're supposed to be a tool watch and they don't look like a tool watch anymore. But this Ginault here, I really like it. I believe it has a lot of tool watch properties, and then it's dressed up a little bit. I think it looks really nice. It's just a good looking piece. Let's check out the Lume. Of course, you got the Ginault on your right and the Submariner on your left. So all the modern day 6-digit Rolexes are going to have the blue BGW9, you know, their chroma light, and that's what the silent service here is using on the right. On this model Rolex, we have the Super Luminova, which is green, and it's still very bright and potent. Both of these are just lume monsters. I really love the lumed bezel insert on the silent service. It just really, having everything lumed is so much more visible at night, or shoot, if you're in the ocean or whatever you're doing with it. But I just think that it would be, you know, much better to have everything fully lumed. And that'd be something that would be cool to see on modern day subs, if they'll ever go to that or not. But anyway, there you have it. The review, the versus video of the Rolex Submariner and the Ginault silent service. Which one is better? Honestly, you can't. I mean, you got a Rolex. I mean, Rolex is top of the line. But you know what? This Ginault silent service is punching way above its weight class. And I think it's a great timepiece to either coexist with a Rolex or just buy it by itself. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.